In today's question and answer video, I'll show you how to prevent a home invasion. Today's question comes from Dave J. He asks, Brian, can you make a video on how to prevent home invasions, since unfortunately, they're happening more often these days? Yes, and thank you for asking that question, Dave. Home invasions are indeed on the rise, especially in nicer neighborhoods. Now, we're not just talking about burglars breaking in when you're not home, but brazen attackers forcing their way into your home while you are there. If you don't have a plan in advance, you can easily fall victim to this quick and vicious form of attack. Your home is supposed to be your castle, and today I'm going to show you how to defend your castle. There are 4 reasons someone is trying to invade your home. 1, they want what you have. Look, if you're going on social media and showing off your expensive watch or gun collection, you're asking for trouble. Be careful with who you share information about you and what you have with. 2, they want what they hope you have. If you live in a nicer neighborhood, they will assume that you have nicer things. There's also an assumption that you are less prone to fighting back if you live in a nicer neighborhood. 3, they want you. If you're going around doing people wrong, might I suggest you stop for multiple reasons. And finally, maybe it's just some druggie who's out of their dang mind. Now, there's not much you can do about that except make your home hard to break into. Okay, first things first. Don't open the door for anyone unless you know them or are expecting them. No one should be coming to your door anyway. Best case scenario, they're there trying to sell you something that you don't want. Worst case scenario, they're either casing the place out to see who answers. Is it a man, a woman, a child? How many people are there? How dangerous do you look, etc. Or they might just rush in as soon as you open the door. A very common scam that's been going on for quite a while is that criminals will dress up as FedEx or UPS or other types of delivery people, uniform and everything, box in their hands. People assume the box is for them, and they fall for the old Trojan horse ploy. Now, there's also people who dress up like police officers. No offense to our friends in law enforcement, but there isn't any good reason that a police officer is at your front door unless you called them and want them there. And there's a decent chance that it's not really a cop. So, biggest thing, don't answer the door for anyone that you don't know, including the police. By the way, make sure your entire household understands this critical safety measure. Criminals are hoping that a naive person answers the door. Next, make it hard to break in. Now that you know not to voluntarily open the door, you want it to be very time-consuming and very noisy for your would-be invader to break in. Here's some things that you can do. Some of them are really cheap or even free. Here's a couple of obvious ones. Lock all of your doors and windows, especially on the ground level or anywhere that can be easily accessed. If you want some windows open, make sure you put some sort of a wooden dowel in the track that only allows the window to open for a couple of inches. Now, all modern homes have pretty robust outside doors, including the door that goes from your garage into your main home. They're not going to break very easily. However, the hardware, such as the screws that hold the deadbolts, the hinges, and the door handle together, are going to be the weak spots that can break. I recommend taking a look at the screws that hold all of the door parts together. If you have these short 3/4 inch screws, I recommend you replace them with robust 3 3/4 inch screws that you can get really cheap at a hardware store. Personally, I went one step further and I bought a product called Door Armor, which gives you all of those screws plus reinforced plates that cover the deadbolt, the door latch, and the door hinges. My door is going to be really hard to kick down. Now, I'm not a big fan of some of those products that require you to put some sort of a plate or stopper in place once the door is closed. For one, it requires you to do an extra step that most people will forget or be too lazy to do. Plus, you can't put the thing in place when you're not at home. My setup allows me to treat my door the same way I always have, and the door is still reinforced even when I'm not home. Now finally, this is a bit more expensive, but there is a shatterproof plastic film that you can get that goes over your windows and sliding glass doors. If someone tries to smash through your window, the film on the inside of the window will prevent the window from shattering. It'll hold it together. you don't even notice that you have this film on. Now they do have a bulletproof version. It's a bit thicker and you can kind of tell that you have the film on, so I'll let you decide which one you want. All of these things will cause noise, take excessive time, and draw attention to the would-be attacker. They don't want to get caught, so they're likely to run off. If not, it buys you a couple minutes to get a self-defense weapon ready, get your family in a defensible room, and to call 911. Next, make your home look less safe to break into than the one across the street. Remember, a criminal's number one fear is getting caught. They don't want to be seen. So here's a couple of tips. Don't have tall bushes or other items that a criminal can hide behind at your front porch or really anywhere around your home. That just gives them the ability to stay hidden as they are breaking in or ambushing you as you come home. You really want your nosy neighbor to be able to see your front door. 2, install some motion lights. There's many affordable ones on the market that run on solar power, and they're easy to install. Just make sure to have them around the entire perimeter of your home so there is no safe hiding spots for the bad guys. Now, if you don't want to get a security monitoring system, that doesn't mean you can't make people think you have one. You can go online and buy some cheap ADT or other company signs or window decals, and you can put them where they can easily be seen. You can also get one of those beware of man-eating dog signs. Finally, have a plan. Know what you will do if someone outside is trying to smash through your front door or window. If you have failed to follow any of these previous tips, then the invader is probably already inside your home, and now you're in for the fight of your life, possibly quite literally. Okay, if someone is trying to break through my door or my window, I'm going to be doing the following things in order. First and foremost, imminent threat. I'm going to grab a firearm. Second, I'm going to get into a position where I can see them, I can see where they're entering, but if they were to suddenly start shooting a gun inside, I could get behind cover. 3, I might yell out, "I've got a gun," and the police are on the way. 4, I'm going to call 911. And 5, I'm going to hold my position until the police arrive. It could be quite a while, as we've learned in recent years. Now, this final piece is really critical. I'm assuming the person is going to run off and you won't actually have to use your weapon on them. But when the police arrive, I'm going to put my gun away, or I'm going to holster it in a concealed holster, concealed being a key point, before I answer the door. Because the last thing I want to do is have an amped up police officer open the door and see someone holding a gun and get mistaken for a criminal. Now, it's important to know the laws where you live. In most U.S. states, you only have the right to shoot someone or use deadly force if they cross the threshold of your door or window. So if they're out on your lawn yelling obscenities at you, call the police. If they're kicking your door in, smashing your window in, and crawling inside, you probably have the ability to use lethal force. Now, the exception to that would be if they are trying to set your home on fire or they're shooting at you from the outside. Now your life is in danger and you should use lethal force. Now, for our friends out there that think you don't need to be prepared, that you don't need a firearm or any other weapon in your home, that the police will show up and save you just in the nick of time, just like in an 80s action movie. Let me share a disturbing reality. In most major cities, the average police response time is over an hour. 911 call centers have limited staff, and you can easily wait on hold for an answer. The last time I called 911, I didn't get an answer, and I got a call back 25 minutes later asking if there was still an emergency. Look, folks, when seconds matter, the police are only minutes away, or longer. You are the only one who can protect you and your loved ones. The best way to win a home invasion scenario is to do all of the prep work I just covered so you don't actually wind up in one. If you liked today's video, thanks for a thumbs up. As always, if you want more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you are alerted when future videos come out. Until next time, go build that moat around your castle and sleep with peace and security.